My own praise and praise me in the city gates. Her husband is known in the city gates. Beauty is vain, but never lasting. Let my own works of the city gates, fruit of my hands of the city. Being worldly wise is not the secret to the happiness. Desire is not satisfying, especially of the flesh. The heart of the wise of the mere essential joy in those of promptress of self-sufficiency, for nothing can be done without the Lord. Joint heirs to thy inheritance, realizing the woman is the weaker one of the two. Reason for it that I have found, God made man upright. Who is like this wise man? A man's wisdom makes his face shine. I counsel you to keep the king's commands, every man to his own land, rather God or death spiritually. From death of thy ruins comes thy life. From God, wisdom is as good and more excellent. Yet is those living who see the sun, for wisdom is defense and knowledge, that wisdom shield and preserves the life of him who has it. Consider the work of God who can make straight what was crooked. Blessing of God is thy breath of life. I had seen everything in my days of vanity, of my days of distress that led me to the Father. The very blessing he gave me, a good name is better than precious perfume. Do not give heed to everything that is said, unless you hear your servant cursing you. True wisdom is thy strength, like the shield of the wisdom. Everything I counsel you to keep, king's commandments by which you swore to him loyalty by the oath. Land is darkened by the Nile, brink of the Nile, sworn fields of the Nile. Inasmuch they say to a tree, you are my father, to a stone you gave me birth, and precious statement of the previous statement. Arise, O Lord, because of your lust and adulteriness, deliver him from the hand of the oppressor, him who has been robbed. My wrath go forth like the fire and burn for the Father. Remove thy lamb from thy mouth of the lion. House of my forefathers, David, concern in the royal house. King of Judah, hear the word of the Lord and speak to them. Bring them into the house of the Lord. Some pledge to drink no wine, and some pledge to drink wine. King and all the prince as who stood behind and beside the king, Elishma the scribe, reported all the words. Elam was reigned behind a Tigris river, day of Pentecost, Acts 2:9. Providence of modern Iran, predicted in Jeremiah 49:39. Elam's fortress, God's Messiah King. His presence, return of the Jews. Lord is righteous, the Book of Lamentations, the Cambridge Bible, ink in his bottle at his side. She dwelt in Jerusalem, second quarter, they spoke to her to thy effect. How I have helped him who is without power and without strength, inspired what came forth from me. Counseled him who had no wisdom. He it is who spread over thy northern skies. He holds thy waters bound in his clouds, which otherwise would spill out on the earth. All at once It cannot be valued precious. Onyx wisdom is capitalized as a reminder of divine implications. Proverb 1:23. Find the knowledge of our omniscience. Proverbs 3:2. The thoughts and purposes of consistently righteous are the honest and reliable root of uncompromisingly righteous shall never be moved. Crowning joy, my husband, godly wisdom, comprehensive insight, the ways and purposes of God. Better is he who is lightly esteemed, but works for his own support. He who is greedy for unjust gain troubles his own household, but he who hates bribes will live. The path of the wise that leads upwards to life, and joy is making a point to answer thy text of the call. Consecrated widow, I am. The former godlike, the latter is usually human and applied to God. Wisdom that is from above, the Lord King of Kings, applied to God. The son of the morning dawn, morning star. Woe to you who was the destroyer of yourself. Gods of Egypt shall he burn with the fire. Prophecy fulfillment. The priest shall teach the difference between the holy and the common or profane. Unclean and clean shall never go near no dead parts of the book. For I've never been in bondage. The fire don't burn around me, they burn around him. Trained in strength of their arms. King found them better than all magicians of their realm. I will plant them upon their own lands. They shall never be torn up out of their land again. The Lord had made a covenant and commanded them. Blessed be the Lord, the God of Israel, forever and ever. I will appoint a place for my people. Since this day I commanded judges over my people. I will subdue all your enemies. Furthermore, I foretell to you, Lord will build you a house. It shall come to pass. I will establish Lord's kingdom. Now concerning Joash's son, reigned in his stead, permitted by God. Numbers 9:10. Covered by the tabernacle, Lord said to Moses, Samuel, I am the offspring of the Lord, daughter of Zion, my forefathers of David. His ancestral line, as long as I live, the light lives, righteousness and just of my lips to all. I will lay down Satan, my adversary, and with the help of the Lord's mighty hands will bring you and deliver you. Lord shall redeem you to your land, which is ours. I was constantly the cloud covered its. Numbers 11:5. For latter history that his descendants lived in Canaan. Judges 1:16. 1 Samuel 15:6. You showed kindness to all the Israelites when they first came up out of Egypt, and invited Jesse to the sacrifice of thy ancestral line. I will show you what you shall do, and you will anoint for me the ones I name to you. Lord said to Samuel, look not on his appearance of his, or at the height of his stature. For Lord sees not as a man, for man looks on outward. Execute Lord's wrath upon Amalek. Saul did not obey in those days, and immediately Saul fall upon the earth's floor. Lord, bring up Samuel for me. 1 Samuel 11 through 14. Israel's 800,000 valiant men. Judah were 5,000. Kings' words prevailed against Joab amidst the second year of Joshaphat. Prophets from Jericho, for in the days of Zechariah many will rise up, but also speaks of a prophecy in Revelations of thy floating scrolls. 3 witnesses who speak of Moses and Aaron's law. Repair thy breach wherever there is found a breach. 2 Kings 12, 13, 14. Repairing the temple, his sons Joshua, they're holding. And settlements were in Bethel and its village, Lebo Hamath and his brothers. Sometime later, King Nahash of Amorites died in war with the Amorites. I raised up the Lord's people by their names of unseen forces that surrounded them, setting them free and returning their feet to the Lord's house in loving kindness, as the daughter of Zion with the hills of Jerusalem so does. Because his father showed kindness to me, the Lord your father, when I found out you were being judged for the law of your own people of Israel, the very law you spoke of and witnessed to. I stepped up and took your place until you could be strong enough to replace me. Give water to your dry lands that were lacking spiritual food, and now I make you strong with thy spiritual food that you so lacked but needed. Your brethren go against their own brethren. I stood to bring justice and righteousness to our lands and our forefathers, as a strong wife does. They found nothing at your hands, divine councils that you are seated in as the governors of the city of the countries, last judge that you are. Lord God is pruning you. I guard and protect what was entrusted to me, and that is you, Samuel, according to thy design of thy faith and the fate and plan of God's plans. You, the third witness to Moses and Aaron, clearing away thy enemies around you. This will be done quickly. With the helpful hand of the Lord, you shall be restored to your own lands, my beloved Samuel, and to our peace and rest with me where you were at, until they violently took you away from me. And the Lord, result of the adversary that surrounded you, I will not rest until you are returned to me in my hands by my side, and the adversary is completely destroyed. I shall lay him down and pierce his flesh. He has been defeated. Peace shall be restored to Lord's lands, while I encourage all men to take life seriously. I work for the Lord our God, and I am the light. As long as I have breath in me, the light of righteous will live, that I hold inside of me. Daughter of Zion, I shall guard and protect what was entrusted to me and given to me by the Lord with his own blessing of his very hands. Brought together, cannot be separated at any cost of anybody or by anybody's hands. I solemnly tell you, Samuel, it's us or it's nothing, but do not stray from your path like I did before I returned to you.